And we are back like we never left. Welcome to the Coach Podcast. Man, we back again. Sorry it took so long, guys. Been a long week. But we made you wait till another Thursday, but I promise you after tonight, you'll say it was all worth it. Welcome to the Coach Podcast. That guy right beside me, one of the greatest offensive coordinators of all time. He's the man that put the plays together and put everything together so we can go ahead and score these points. That guy right beside me, he is the offensive coordinator, Coach Benji Hare. And I'm your defensive coordinator. My job is simple and easy. Stop you from scoring. But if you score too much, he got me. I am Coach Marks, and we make up the Coach Podcast. Make sure you hit that follow button. Let your friends know that the Coach Podcast is on right now. And if you happen to miss the show, you shouldn't miss it. But if you happen to miss the show, then you can always follow us. You can get the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast.
The game's final play is a Wilson lob to the end zone, which is fought for by Tate with Jennings simultaneous. Who has it? One guy goes up, touchdown. The other said no time.
How does MD Jennings not get credit for the interception? I have no idea.
Call on the field stands. Touchdown.
Seahawks win in the most bizarre finish you'll.
Man, we like to welcome a blank screen because apparently he don't have his camera on, Coach.
Hold on, Coach. Hold on.
To go ahead and welcome our special guest for the day. We'd like to welcome to the show tonight, two-time All-State, Class 2A at Calhoun City High School. First team All-Sun Belt 2009-2010 at Arkansas State. He had 241 total tackles, 8 interceptions, 2 sacks, 3 fumble recoveries, and 2 forced fumbles. He signed as a free agent in 2011 to the Green Bay Packers, played 3 seasons with the Packers in 2012. He had a 72-yard pick six, should have had another interception, but we'll talk about that in a minute. In 2013, he started all 16 games for the Packers. He turned around after his NFL career was over with, and he flipped it. He was a state runner-up in his first year as the head coach of the Calhoun City Wildcats in 2020. And on this past year, he finally got that championship as he won the state championship, Class 1A, Calhoun City High School. Also, he was a state champion powerlifting coach, and he was the assistant coach when the baseball team won a state championship. We want to welcome everybody to the show, none other than Coach M.D. Jennings. I don't know where he at, Coach. I think he's here, but I'm not sure.
There you go.
There you go. He finally popped up, and he ain't got no Calhoun City on. Thank you. Glad you ain't got that stuff on. We don't need that. We don't need that stuff in our life today. Let's see.
I don't want you to be uncomfortable on your podcast, man. You know, trying to be a.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
You might invite me back.
Well, let's try this again. Let us welcome to the show none other than Coach M.D. Jennings. Coach, man, we got a lot to talk about, man, and there's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to answer. I purposely kept a lot of questions because I knew this day was coming. So I said, no, I'm just going to wait. I told Coach, I said, it's a lot of stuff that I should have been unasked him, but I'm going to wait till the day. I want to make sure everybody hear it so they can't say I made something up. But, Coach, to get this thing started, we just played the most famous play in NFL history of the when you type in officials blunders or worst calls in NFL history, your play comes up the most. I don't know how many views that it. Do you get any money off that? Do YouTube or do the NFL got the rights on that?
Oh, man, NFL they stingy.
You should have NFT'd that and sold that thing, man. But Coach, let's go back to that play. What do you remember about that play?
Man, it's just Monday Night Football, trying to make a play to get out of Seattle with a victory. I still remember Russell Wilson rolling out, scramble drill, all that good stuff. And, he just throw the ball up and, I go up to make a play. Felt like, the referees, after they went under the hood to review the play, felt like they would, make the right call, but they messed it up.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And Coach, what's crazy about it that even when you look at it, it's clear. It's clear that Golden Tate did not even have his hands on the ball.
He did
He
not.
waited until you landed and you had rolled over, and he kind of got in there almost like a basketball jump ball. And it's just amazing how they could look at that and still mess it up. Coach, what you got to add on that?
So my thing is you have this incredible game-sealing play, right? You think it's over. Was there ever a point, like, you go to the sideline, are you just waiting? Was there ever a point that you were like, all we're about to do right here is I'm going to go shake hands with some guys, say good game, GG? What was the review process like? And then how did you feel once the actual call, is overturned for the touchdown or whatever?
Well, as it's going on and on, it's like, man, it's taking too long. Something's not right about this. And man, that place it went crazy after they made the call on the field. Like it's unreal that, like you said, you got the NFL Monday Night Football. You would think they would get that call right, but they messed it up.
Coach, I believe that call right there, I don't think the NFL will ever do replacement refs again.
Oh no, they talking about it as we speak.
That's what I asked Coach March before the show started. I was like, are they not like going on like a work strike, whatever the term is? Is that not in the discussion?
Oh yeah, and they're discussing it.
I think a lot of people would say, just don't get the SEC refs. A lot of Ole Miss fans are like, hey, y'all don't need to get them. But maybe years later, whoever comes in to be the replacements has got some things figured out from last time.
Man, I hope so.
Well, Coach, man, you played 3 seasons in Green Bay. 2013, you started all 16 games, and it showed that they had you was a restricted free agent, and you didn't get a qualifying offer from Green Bay, and you ended up being an unrestricted free agent. Tell us about that process. What happened in the negotiation process in that?
I mean, it's business. Everyone's looking for cheap labor. The more years of experience you got, the more they got to pay you. They're looking for that cheap labor. They end up drafting someone else, and I signed with Chicago.
So you went. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I did like you did. Hey,
don't put my business out in the street, son. Don't tell people where I was. I already told Coach Coffin to take that sign down because I don't need people knowing that I used to work in Cowan City. I don't need them to know that.
In Cowan City, you miss Cowan City too, don't you?
Oh man, nobody missed no. I threw away all that stuff, man. That stuff in the garbage. I don't even use it no more. I don't even like this shirt. I got it out of the garbage. I just put it on because I couldn't find nothing else. I ain't washed today, so that was the problem on that.
Coach is like, "Who's doing the interview here now? Come on."
Oh my goodness, man.
I told him, hey, I asked him this morning, hey, how do you want this to go? So
I didn't want your way. We'd have been banned, and we've been banned from everybody been after us today. I don't know. It worked good for Shannon Sharp, so I don't know. We probably should have just let you ride with it. So when you went to Chicago, tell us about how was that experience? Going from Green Bay to your number one rival.
Oh man, it was different. But you know what? You know what I realized when I got to Chicago, they didn't even dislike Green Bay. Their biggest concern was Minnesota. So, I learned a lot about the rivalries, in the NFC North.
That's just like us. We don't hate y'all. Our biggest rivalry is Vardaman. Like, when y'all getting mad about stuff.
Oh, no.
We hate Cowan City. We don't hate Cowan City. We worried about Vardaman.
Coach, come on. Hey. Preacher, come on now, preacher.
I'm trying to get this stuff right, man. I'm trying to get it right. So after the Bears, I think is that when you suffered your first injury in NFL, or it was just a continuation of things that.
No, I actually tore my ACL in college, so I tore my knee in college, then hurt my shoulder in Chicago, and during that process, healing the shoulder, tore my knee again.
ACL.
Meniscus the second time. First time was ACL and meniscus, then second time just meniscus.
And you know how they do that. They at that point they view you as okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know that. So it said in 2015 you signed with Tampa Bay, but they released you before I think before even training camp began. And at that point, what were you just I'm done with it. I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, or I got to what I want to do. It's time to move on to the next thing. Or was it something in you still like, hey, I still got a lot in the tank?
Oh no, I was done. Being in Chicago, it kind of made me look at football. I started to see the business side of it. So after that injury, I knew then I was done. Never really even wanted to sign with Tampa. But I was like, hey, if I can get something else out of the deal, hey, let's go for it. But I wasn't healthy, couldn't run. So it was. I knew I was just trying to. I was on borrowed time at that point.
Just curious when you talk about the business side of things, like, is that something that I'm trying to think of how I want to put it? Is that something that it kind of told you your answer quicker than the body was telling you, or did you ever think like you said with Tampa, you wanted to see if the deal was there? Did the business give you hope that something may be there? Like what was that
Not
like?
really, not really. My body was telling me, hey, this is it. And also just seeing the business side of it. I mean, you will see if you're in the league long enough, man. You'll see people, like you'll see vets, like their contracts if they're on the roster day one. You'll see those guys getting released just so they're not on the roster day one, and then they try to come back and sign them, 2 or 3 days later. Once you start
Right.
seeing that stuff, you're like, man, it's all business. So once you start seeing that, and you start seeing like different faces in the locker room and stuff, it the love of the game, a lot of
It
people
changes it.
it changes extremely fast.
It's not as and obviously you coach it on the purest level, like
Oh
high
yeah.
school level. I could see how when you've gone through, the era of college football you played was, a lot was the love of the game. I
Oh
could
yeah.
understand seeing that side. I
Especially
definitely
when you start seeing like position coaches basically have no say so in the roster.
right.
A lot of times decisions are made and these coaches don't even know.
Yep.
It's
They
the
find out on
GM
a
and oh yeah, the GM and the head coach, and I've seen it all.
So,
That's
Coach,
interesting.
going through all of that and seeing that, and most time those are kids' aspirations. They look, hey, I want to play, I want to go to college, and I want to make it to the pros. And we see it, day to day. What is there something that? Well, obviously it's something, but can you tell just by looking at a kid if they can handle that business side of football?
It's hard to say. Some people think they want that, that experience, and then like some of them you look at and you're like, well, maybe they may grow up, and then some of them you're like, no, this is not what y'all want. It's crazy because I mean people don't understand the dedication and the sacrifices that go into it, and if you're not 100% committed, like I just tell people, hey, find something else to do. Like it's because you're wasting your time and a whole lot of other people's time also.
I think one of the things that I say, because today we was working on some stuff where we was looking at professional contracts. And when we got through, when they saw how much that person from what they made to what they brought home, you should have
Oh,
saw the eyes. And do you think that the NFL and professional sports in general do the kids a disservice not showing them the business side? Because all we see is 4 years, $100 million. They're not telling us nothing else. That's what we think. 4 years, $100 million. Do you think is it the responsibility of the professional sport, whether it's Major League Baseball, NFL, or NBA, or is that something that hey, that's on you to try to figure out?
well, one thing I will say, when I was at Arkansas State, they did, start prepping us for those moments. Also, you know, the NFL, they do a really good job bringing people in during during the mini camps and doing training camps, and you know, having those conversations with people, letting them know, you know, hey, this is what you're gonna make, and they give you some advice, you know, how to invest your money, you know, 401k, all of that good stuff. You know, it's up to the individual to, you know, take that information and run with it, or just say, hey, I ain't worried about it. You know, a lot of people think, you know, they're gonna play the game for 10, 15 years, and it doesn't happen like that for everyone.
Mm. Well, you know, you come from Calhoun City. Country, that's what we are. That's Calhoun County. Then you go to Arkansas, which is still not a big climate change.
Yeah.
But then you move to Green Bay. Talk us through how you had to adjust. I've only heard stories, but they say Green Bay temperature runs a little bit different.
Oh yeah, it's different, and it's something you can never really prepare for. I had a conversation with Jordy Nelson when I was a rookie, and he told me, man, pray that it snows. And I'm looking at him like, man, you crazy. And he was like, trust me. But after that first season, I realized it is a lot warmer when it snows.
Really?
When it quit snowing, and normally when it snows, it's probably, you know, 30 degrees or, you know, mid 20s. When it quit snowing and it's 20 below, you'll appreciate those 30-degree days.
So go ahead, Coach.
Do you gain a bigger appreciation for the cheeseheads out in the stands that are out there?
No doubt.
Completely. Is it crazy? Is it love for the game? What is it? But
yeah,
you gotta appreciate it, right?
Yeah, it's different, man. Cause I would wake up in the morning and ask myself, hey, why am I here? When you roll over and you look at the temp and it's 0 degrees, you're asking yourself, like, man, what am I doing up here? So to see those people, you know, pack the stands every Sunday, like, man, it's, you know, they love it. They love it.
Coach, what was your, hey, welcome to the NFL, young buck moment? You know, what was that moment to say, yeah, this is a little bit different?
Whew. I'll never forget. I don't know who it was, but man, it was a preseason game. And we were out there, man. They kicked the onside kick, and we knew it was coming. You know, it's just, you know, you kind of know the way the game's going. You know, kind of what's when people line up. But and I told the guys, I said, guys, man, hey, I'm gonna get the ball. You know, just kind of cover me up. They didn't cover me up. But, and I tell people this, I've told my kids this a lot. My helmet came off, but it was still buckled. Man, it bust my lip, bust my nose, and blacked my eye.
Good Lord.
The chin strap, I mean, the helmet came off and the strap was still buckled up. But that was my welcome to the NFL moment.
Preseason game too. It wasted.
We kicking onside kicks in the preseason game, man.
It
Good
is,
Lord, man.
But I came up with the ball though, so you know.
Hey, if you're gonna get rocked, you're gonna get rocked. You might as well hold on to the ball. You're gonna get hit anyway.
And the thing about it, man, that's a dangerous play, and you know you better get the ball because you're standing around, you're still gonna get hit.
Yeah.
Might as well keep the ball. Coach, conversely,
was there a moment where, say, you delivered a hit or batted a ball down, made a tackle in space where you was like, oh yeah, I'm here. Like this is meant. Like, was there a moment where it's like, oh yeah, this is right where I'm supposed to be?
Man, I really don't. I can't remember any moments like that.
Gotcha. Coach, talk us through that first touchdown. I mean, NFL. That's just a moment, and it was 72 yards, so that means you had to get on down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Talk us through that. Well, what happened on the play? What did you see, and what did it feel like to score? And I hope you still got the football.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Let me get it. Talk us through that first touchdown, man.
Send your Calhoun City ball over there.
I don't want no Calhoun City football, man. I don't know. Send it. It might work. But go ahead.
one thing we always talked about in the safety room was tips and overthrows, and that ball right there was an overthrown ball. We were playing a fire zone, so I remember opening the three, leaning to the side of three, saw it, caught it, and we had one rule, like, hey, you can't get tackled by a lineman. You don't want to show up in a meeting room, you got to talk about offensive lineman. So, catching the ball, getting to the sideline, that was my thing, like, don't let the lineman tackle you.
Did you get any pass interference? Did you get any penalties in your 3 years at Green Bay? And how do they handle penalties from players?
Like the pass interference, I don't remember any. I probably got some. They call defensive holding for anytime you touch a receiver. But the penalties, it's not that big of a deal, as long as it's like, now if you do something like a horse collar or a blindside block, stuff like that, you're gonna have a FedEx package that Monday morning. The league gonna send you a letter and say, hey, you owe us X amount of dollars for that. But just a regular, pass interference, something like that, it's no big deal.
Now, Coach, we talked about this once before, and it was curious, and I want you to share how they handle it. When they drug test y'all, walk us through how they do it.
If it's a drug test during training camp, they basically just knock on the door, say, hey, come with me. Once they make contact with you, you're with them until you can give them that sample. And they actually watch you. It's not, hey, go in the bathroom. It's, hey, we're watching you fill the cup to the red line. So it's no, hey, I'm going in this bathroom. I'm beating the system. Like, no, they make sure you do not beat the system. Off season, you gotta have you gotta give them your cell phone number, your address, where you plan on being for the off season. They will call you. If you answer the phone, the clock starts at that moment. If you don't answer the phone, they leave a voicemail. The clock starts. You got 24 hours to provide a sample.
Man, the NFL is pretty rough, man.
With all that, is that we're obviously talking about a side that I think a lot of people don't think about when it comes to, you're working for, not only are you playing football, but you're working for an organization. Like it's a business, like we've been talking. Is that the most I guess hard and strict thing to follow, or is there even something crazier is there something else that stands out that we don't know? Like we wouldn't think about, like, man, that's, that you guys are dealing with this while trying to, make a living as a football player.
To me, it was easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't smoke. Don't put the the PEDs and stuff in your body. The performance enhancing drugs. Don't put those things in your body. You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Probably one of the biggest things, not for me, but for some of the linemen. Like we weigh in every. I think it was like on Wednesday. So you had to make weight. So those big guys that love to eat, it was hard for them, to make weight. And if you're overweight, like, they fine you. I think it was like $4.78 for each pound you were overweight.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a business.
And when you say that, I remember going to New Orleans when the Saints had played Baltimore, and we was with Fred Thomas, and he said something that he never would call practice. We always constitute what we do preparing for a ball game as practice. He always called it work. I got to get up and go to work in the morning. I got to get up. So did you always see it? Did it graduate to that point to where it was no longer practice and it was just it's my job?
Yeah, it's your job. I mean, you see the practice, but most of your day is spent in the meeting room or in the weight room. You're on the practice field for probably 2 hours, but you're at the facilities at like 6 a.m. You're lifting, meeting, walkthrough, then practice. Then you're meeting again, another walkthrough, and probably have another meeting after that walkthrough. So it's work.
Man, that's a lot.
It's more to it than what you see on Sundays. Sundays, that's just the finished product, you're putting on the field. But I mean, that stuff starts with the film study and the walkthroughs and all of that stuff.
And I think that's something that that the kids need to know this. They need to know this because, you know, when we're growing up, we just think, you know, we see Jerry Rice, you know, he's just, hey, we see Deion Sanders. We don't know what went behind everything that they did. But you also played with a Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
What was he like? You know, I know what the media said about him. But as a teammate, how was he in your 3 years you was with him?
No, that guy's a competitor. He was gonna push and challenge everyone around him to make them better. Because he knew if they were better, you know, he was gonna be a better quarterback. He was, you know, gonna give his input. And one thing I will say, he would talk to us DBs because we would ask him questions like, "Hey, what's your reads?" and stuff like this. And I remember a conversation he and I had. I was messing with him about the skies and coverages, and he looked at me. He said, "Man, I don't pay this stuff any attention." He said, "Man, we're looking for open middle or closed middle. So basically, the middle of the field is open. If safety's in the middle of the field, I'm throwing the ball outside. If you got two highs, he's throwing the ball inside." I'm like, man, so we're back here doing all of this stuff for nothing. So, you know, he would give pointers and stuff like that. Which, you know, like I said, he made everyone around him better.
Wow. Well, Coach, after the professional years had expired and you, how did you fall into coaching? Because here the thing is, most time, and a lot of people don't consider them, I feel like if you make it to the top level of your game or of your profession, then you are you one of the best. And sometimes it's hard when you're one of the best because you know what it took to get there. How did you fall into coaching? How did that happen?
Man, I've always wanted to play and coach. Like, that's it. Just play football and coach football. So I actually, you know, after coming home in 2015, I was sitting around one day. I spent a lot of time with my neighbors, and I live in like a older community. And so we got to the point where we would just all kind of meet under the same tree every day. And I said to myself one day, I was like, man, I can't sit out here the rest of my life with these old guys. So I was like, man, let me get into coaching. So I started calling around, and I asked, I called someone and asked could I use him as a reference. And he basically said, no, we got a job open, man, just come up here and work with us. So that's how I ended up coaching at South Panola. And from there, I spent 2 years at South Panola and finally got an opportunity to come back home, and here I am.
That goes to my next question. Because one thing, coaching at home is different. That's a different beast in itself. Was the transition easy for you? Was it an easy decision for you that, hey, did you hold any, not saying you didn't pursue home initially, but did you ever get like, okay, why didn't y'all come after me? You knew I was into this thing and I had to stay in Batesville for 2 years. Did any of those things cross your mind? It was just, hey, I got a chance to come back home.
It was just, hey, I got a chance to come back home. So it was no hard feelings. You know, I didn't feel
I would have
like
had
I
hard
got
feelings.
shipped off.
I'd had
I didn't
hard
feel like
feelings.
I got shipped off. But basically, I'll be honest. Basically, I was trying to get home. You know, at first when when I wanted to get back into coaching, it was nothing available.
Oh, they would have created. Hey, I just got out of the NFL. You gonna create a job for me? Matter of fact, I know if I just got out of the NFL, I know my 10% is more than your whole coaching staff. Somebody got to go.
But the thing with that though, we're talking about South Panola. Like, first year job, got an opportunity to go to South Panola. Like, I mean, and that was when South Panola was, you know, really on a whole nother level.
Yeah, because he didn't hire me.
Yeah. So, you know, I couldn't pass that up, you know, and I learned a lot. I mean, I coached under, you know, Lance Poe. I don't know how many state championships he got. And then Coach Woods, Ricky Woods. man. So, those two Hall of Fame guys. So I learned a lot from those guys.
So,
Yeah. So, talking about like, I'm kind of with you. I think, if South Panola comes calling, that's got to be a hard thing to walk away from. You got to take it, right. What what was some of the biggest things like? Was there, uh, like, did you come in to kind of just fit like a glove, or did you have to like turn the "I'm not a player anymore" mind off and jump into the coaching and say like, "Hey, I have to explain this out more. Like this is a totally different level." Was there like, you stay in those upper levels of football for so long? Was there a transition? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Um, I never had to get out of that player mode because, like I said, I was done. Like I had mentally checked out before before I was actually done playing. So that wasn't an issue with me. I knew I couldn't still. I can't run. I wasn't out there trying to run routes and try to cover guys like that. So all of that was out of my system. Um, it was a real easy transition. It was really just learning the kids. That's probably the hardest thing because you can come in with this great philosophy and stuff, and it may not work for a certain group of kids, or every kid may get it, and you got to try to figure out a way just to reach that one kid. So once I figured out how to reach the kids, the other part was easy.
Gotcha.
Coach, go ahead, Coach.
I was just saying, I got you. If you got something, Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, 2020,
Okay.
the opportunity came, and I think we've brushed over this, and I for one, I'm one that brushed over it. But you became the first black, not just the head coach, but you became the first black head coach in Calhoun City history. And in that year, you did something that very none have been able to claim to, and you led your first team to a state championship game against a experienced Taylorsville team. How was that when you being named the head coach, number one? But how did that feel, or did it ever just dawn on you that, hey, I just did something that was historic on all levels?
But I never looked at it like that. And, I always say, hey, I'm not going to put myself in a box and say, hey, black coach, white coach, none of that stuff. I just see myself as a football coach. So I try not to put myself in that box. As far as leading the team to a state championship appearance, I'm proud for the kids. I do it for the community. Man, you and I have had that conversation a lot. Man, those championships and stuff, they don't really do much for me. I try to show up, reach the kids, push them, get everything I can out of them. But as far as doing it for myself, like it doesn't, man, it don't matter to me. Like I want to win. Now, true enough, don't get me wrong, I'm very competitive. But as far as just championship, like that's something we don't really talk about it here. Like we try to take care of
Because y'all got a lot of them. It's easy not to talk about it when you got a lot of them.
It's all about the process, man. If you take care of the process, the end result will be what you want it to be. But if your main focus,
so I got a process problem. Thanks a lot. I got to fix that then.
I mean, it is like, and I'm real big on like practice schedules, making sure I'm putting the best people on the field. I go back, self scout myself, making sure the personnel is what it's supposed to be or what it should be. But as far as just chasing the rings and stuff, man, if you're taking care of the process, man, all of that stuff will come. But if you think you're gonna skip from A to Z, it's gonna be a long season for you.
I've been skipping letters, then.
Coach, you talk about the process, right? And we Bruce, Calhoun City, Vardaman, they're on the smaller school end, the 1As and 2As of the world. So I've always heard, so correct me if I'm wrong here, but I've always heard, on the smaller school level, your talent you kind of have a group come in that you build from the ground up, and then they're going to go on and graduate. And it's just a recurrent process. So is there like you say reaching the kids, having your culture that sets you up, the process sets you up for that success. Does it ever have to? Is it a constantly like a rotating thing every day that you're coming back to, or is it, hey, I've been here long enough now that they kind of understand when they come through the door, like day one, we kind of have the foundation set, or does because you're getting these kids for the first time in seventh grade, is it like completely starting over and redoing it all over?
No, it's to me it starts in junior high. To me, that's the most important part of it, and a lot of people neglect their junior high. Seventh grade, that's where you start laying the foundations. That's where I try to, and to me, once again, it's not all about winning in seventh grade. I need those kids, and I tell my coaches, make them fall in love with the game of football. Because if they don't love it, as soon as you try to push them too hard, they're going to quit. So in junior high, that's where we start trying to, start that process, get them to understand what's going on. Now, once they get to ninth grade, all right, now it's time we can push them. We can put a little bit more heat on them, because they should know the expectation. And I tell my kids, the standard is the standard. I'm not changing the way I do things. So they understand that, and I'll tell them, like, and I don't say it to be, cocky or anything, but hey, you need to either buy in or go find something else to do. And I tell people that is the field house is the man cave. I don't invite people to the man cave that's gonna get on my nerves. So
Right.
when you're down there, hey, let's have fun. We one big family, and let's make this thing work.
Gotcha.
Well, Coach, after that state championship game, lost 43-0. The next year, you had your worst year as a head football coach. You only had 2 wins, and your record now is 51-21, but 14 losses came in that second and third year. What did you learn in that process, especially coming from that has never been your background? You've never been in losing situations.
Well, the biggest thing with that, I felt like we were ready to roll. I felt like, coming into that second season, like things were going to be good. And man, I think the day before the first official practice, and we had to quarantine.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was 2 weeks. And man, getting those kids back. So now we were behind everybody else by the time we were able. So we quarantined, had to go through the acclimation period. So we're basically, everybody else is in game shape, and we're basically a month behind. But with that being said, those 2 years, it made me, I think it made me a better coach. And the reason I say that, I realized that your schemes, because we're not recruiting players, we got what we got. And I tell my coaches, hey guys, we got what we got. So we need to make sure our system fits those kids, because we graduated a lot of kids in 20. So 21, 22, those are different kids, but we were still trying to do some of the same, schemes and stuff with that other group. So I realized that, hey, you got to tweak some stuff. Especially on the small level, when you got different groups of kids, hey, you got to be willing to adjust. I heard coaches say, hey, I got this philosophy and stuff. You better have the same type of kids. If not, you better be willing to change. If not, you better change jobs. Because it will humble you real quick.
So does that even go as far as like, say, not only like, like everybody wants to have, I guess you have your core, like say, I'm going to be a gap scheme. I'm going to be a play action, quick game, whatever. And this is the base of my offense. So what you're talking about, is it a formational thing? Because maybe I'm offensive line heavy in this class. Maybe or I have more tight ends than skill play, something like that. Is it even, hey, I may not have the linemen that can gap scheme. We may have to completely scrap this and zone it and duo it or whatever.
Yeah.
So it could be a complete shift at any moment, or
no
based
doubt.
on a.
Man,
Gotcha.
I'm a 4-3 guy. And I don't know. We've been a 3-4 probably the last 3 years.
Gotcha.
Just because I didn't have those, D linemen. Same, like a lot of coaches want to throw the ball around. I'm just using that for an example. if you don't have a quarterback to throw it to or a bunch of receivers, you probably need to find something else to do.
Right.
So, you can be stubborn, and a lot of people are. I've been that guy before. But I ask myself, are you doing what's best for the kids? And if it's yes, we're going to keep doing it. If I feel like we need to do something different that's going to, better fit the kids, then that's what we need to do.
Gotcha.
Well, Coach, after those 2 years, you went that third year you went 6-6. Then you start to see the pages turn. When did you notice that, hey, we got something special here, or we're just going to keep plugging? Because me, I know sometimes you don't want to. I remember last year when I had my girls team, I said, we got something special, but we still got to work. We still got to work. When did you see that, hey, we got something special? Not necessarily we're going to win a championship, but we got something special.
It was really, I guess these seniors, think they were freshmen in 23. And just seeing those guys, or they were sophomores. They were sophomores. But just their approach to the weight room. And that's one thing I'm real big on. If you can't, move people, can't control the line of scrimmage, it's going to be hard to win football games. But just seeing how those guys approach the game of football, and it was just so fun coaching those guys when you don't have to police every little thing. You can tell that group's going to be special. So just seeing how those guys approach the game, I was like, all right, guys, we got a chance with this group. This is a special group.
Nope.
And was that something that, is that something that, do you see that continuing? Like, is that something that bled through this group? Like because I always think of like, when you talk about not having to police things and you have that accountable group, that can be just as much as a culture that's, they're not holding each other accountable stuff. As much as that's contagious, the opposite, where they're doing the right thing, that has to be contagious too. Is that something that you think their legacies passing on?
I think so. I surely hope so.
Yeah.
But when kids taste that success, I mean, it's good for the younger kids. They see it. They get to see these kids. The older guys, they saw all the hard work that they put into it. Their approach to football. Hopefully, the younger kids, just continue to stack that success. And if so, I think they can, leave here with, a couple of rings.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I think we lost Coach Marks.
That's pretty good for him.
I want to see. He ain't texted me back either. So I guess, okay, he's reconnected now. So I guess, to go, you get the state championship and everything. It's in start. Well, it was a really rainy night, was it? What what moments led up to that where, I think of times where you see the hard work. You're there every day. You see the hard work. What was the moment like in that moment? Does it flash like, well, we've done it, or do you immediately go back and say, thank God we did all this in June, July, and to get here? What was those moments when you know that it's over and we're finally getting to raise this thing?
To be honest, I was sitting there, everyone else on the sideline celebrating, and I was just basically saying, don't mess this up. When we first we go under center to take a knee, and we never go under center.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there thinking, like, what are we doing? And I think we had to take 2 or 3 knees to go ahead and run the clock out. But I was just thinking, guys, please don't mess this up. Coach Marks, you back on there?
He's texting me. And I'm gonna tell you, he all the time. I tell him, I'm like, man, I'm so glad that I have you as a co-host, because he carries it. Because I'm robotic. I just talk. I'm not a great question asker, so I need him to to get this thing
freezing up.
Coach Marks, man, can you hear me? I just wish I was in the stands at the end of the game to see him with that long face that he said he would have, seeing Kansas City win another one.
Hey, I know we. It was funny because I remember texting about it, and I was like, "Well, this is great. Like, this is good for the podcast." And he was like, "Oh, he's about to give me an interview." And so I was like, "I don't know. You might want. Hey, calm down, coach. Take a moment before you go get your interview now."
Yep.
I guess he's still. Let's see. He popped up for a second, um, but yeah. So, uh, we're talking about the state championship. Just I like talking, the coaching side of things, the scheme side of things. What's something that you see? Hang on, he's texting me back. Uh, what are some things? I think of how the game is changing,
Oh yeah.
uh, constantly. Coaches are bringing in like I think of my time as a player. I there wasn't a whole lot of just airing it out, throwing the football. There's still a lot of running the football going on. What are some things is there anything in your mind that's being coached today that maybe in your playing days would have been looked at as like that? No, no, not on the high school level. We're not doing this. Like, you know, what are some things that come to mind?
I mean, when I was still playing, the spread was fairly new.
Yeah,
When I was playing, everybody was, 21 personnel, um, shoot, pretty much just running power and GT.
yeah.
Um, we didn't really throw the ball around a lot. Now most people are, 10 personnel, 11 personnel doing stuff like that. But I do see some of the old school stuff coming back. See a lot of people going to 12 personnel. You see some 21 personnel popping up here and there. So it's
Do you,
it's it's good to see those things come back.
do you think that some of that has to do with more of a like I think when the spread come out, we get the zone concepts. A lot of teams start running a three front, and
Hmm.
you want a gap scheme, a three front. So, do you think that defensive structures are taking this back, or do you think that
Oh,
uh the types of players that we're seeing, like it's all a structure based thing that's forcing all this back into?
I think I think it's more so to attack the defense. Like you said, if you're in a 3-man front, most people gonna try to bring a tight end into the game. Like I said, run the gap scheme stuff. So I think that's dictating a lot of what we're seeing. Um,
Gotcha.
yeah.
um, what's something you know as a coach? What's something that through your long career and in coaching, what's something that now that you emphasize? Like this is if there's anything player X takes, like I want you to take this the rest of your life. What's something that you really emphasize and want to hit home?
Man, I just tell our kids, man, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Man, if you go all out, put it all on the line, like that's gonna be you. That's who you are. If you cut corners in the weight room, on the practice field, in the meeting room, you're gonna end up cutting corners later in life. So that's one thing I'm real big on. It's like, hey, you are who you are, and you're gonna be that person no matter where you are. So just like I said, once again, the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
That's good stuff. And I think that you know we come in a time where I think it's obviously a scoreboard business. Uh, like you said, like I want to win. I'm here to win. That's um, Coach Smart said. Finish the interview. He's got issues, so we'll just carry on for however long till my
Man,
mind goes
that's
blank. I guess that's not good. I hope he gets it figured out. He keeps popping up on my end. I mean, his name's on there. I don't know what's going on, but
we
um,
started talking football and that basketball come out of him. He ran away
yeah,
from the gridiron.
yeah, right. Um, let me answer him real quick. But maybe it'll work out and miraculously he'll get back in here. Um, so you know, I guess just continue asking about about the coaching side of it. You've had a lot of success, over the last couple of years, and the goal, I guess, is you want to win state championships. Is there ever enough on this level that you want to experiment down the road, or are you a Calhoun City Wildcat, or what? Does it ever cross your mind like, hey, maybe I want to go be a recruiter, or be you know, on the next level, or is high school football where it's at?
Man, right now I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm here for the kids. I'm trying to teach these kids how to make it to the next level. Whatever that may be. Everyone's not going to be a football player. If I can prepare them for life, that's what I'm here for. Like I said, I'm happy where I'm at right now. Not saying I may entertain something, if the right thing comes along, but like I said, right now I'm happy about coaching high school football, and it's extremely fun to do it right here, in my hometown.
Gotcha. But I mean, if the way you got it going on, I don't know why you would do anything else, man. It sounds like, you know, like I just enjoyed that it's about the kids. Like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
what, makes it, that you're doing a good job at the end of the day, regardless of whatever happens. So when does spring football start for you guys?
Um, April 27th.
And how do y'all attempt the spring as like, is it a fundamental thing? Are we doing fundamentals and install? Like, or I guess technically you get more time with kids during the summer now than you did a long time ago. You can kind of focus more on development in the spring because you'll have time to do install and stuff in the summer. How do you approach the spring? Or is there a perfect blend, or is it just
I run my
dependent on
spring.
talent?
I run my spring just like we'll do, basically like in season mode. Like it's all about the fundamentals and the installs. Um, if you can do the fundamentals, or if you're great at fundamentals, you're probably gonna be pretty good on Friday nights. So that's something we preach. Alignment, assignment, technique, and keys. That's something we always preach.
And is there do
Coach
you
Morris,
see
you back
like
on there?
it looks like he's back?
I'm upset right now. I've missed the best parts of the interview. So
No,
Oh
man.
no, man, we're just getting started, man.
You've been hearing me stuttering a lot. I've been stuttering because
yeah, I had to listen to it on Facebook on my iPad because for some reason our internet over here is messing up. And my
Y'all still
wife
got
contacted me.
Tom over
Man,
it's a dial. Hey, I don't know about coach. I don't know about coach, but hey, perfect opportunity. I have NT Sparks. I do not have issues. NT Sparks, if you want to sponsor the Coach to Coach podcast,
I'll be at NT Sparks when I move back home. Gosh,
if anybody
man.
would like something lovely to say about NT Sparks, and they would love to come join as a sponsor,
Hey,
please.
just kick us some sponsorship because I've just spent my last 10, 15 minutes trying to get this stuff back on. I think whatever was going on with you pushed it over here and where my stuff wouldn't work, but we still rolling. But I still had some questions, and I gotta get my answers. I
You
gotta
go
get
right
my
ahead.
answers.
You go right ahead, coach.
You did a good job, Coach. I was listening to you on you did a good job. Coach, you won a state championship in powerlifting. You won a state championship in football. You was on the baseball team that won a state championship. What is it left to prove? Is it time to move to the next level?
Coach, I'm just trying to get kids signed, put kids in better situations.
You are avoiding the question. Is it time to move to the next level?
No, Coach. I'm like I said, I'm happy where I'm at. I enjoy what I'm doing.
You like being in Calhoun City?
Love it. Love it.
Well, Coach, man, everything
Coach,
and I hate.
Coach, if you can't go home, you can't go anywhere.
Well, I'm finna pack my
true
bag.
statement.
If I have another season like I had last year, then I'm gonna have to go find somewhere else to stay because I don't think my people gonna continue to let me do this. Coach, the story. I hate that when you think about the players and everything that y'all have done, not just talking about, but when you think about Fred and Migo, John Earl, who started the whole thing in Calhoun County, then you had Cornelius, you had you got Keymon, Otis Armstrong. Even though it wasn't NFL, he's an Arena League legend. And sometimes I feel like y'all accomplishments are swept. I'm not going to say swept under the rug, but I feel like there should be more to what you guys have accomplished, because this is not, this is not something that just happens. I've only named 6 players out of the history of football in Calhoun County. I've only named 6 players that made it to that next level. Have you, or will it be something that you look at when you finally done with everything? And I know you humble. That's not a put on. That's just who you are. I've been around you long enough. But sometime do it hit like, man, I played on that level? Do it ever hit you?
No, not really. I mean, just being honest, like, to me, that's just another chapter. Like, it's time. Like, I'll tell anybody, man, when I retire, whenever I'm out of coaching, Coach, I'm living off the grid.
Yeah.
So
you halfway off now, but I figured that.
But that's not something. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I don't want people, patting me on my back, high five. Like, man, I grew up in that era. Like, we're doing what we're supposed to do. Like, if you're playing sports, man, be the best at it. Like, whatever you're doing, just be good at it. Like, you don't have to pat me on the back or tell me I'm doing a great job or anything like that. Like, I'm okay. I don't need the spotlight on me.
You're the hardest person to congratulate. I found that out this year.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you thank you, but it's like,
you are the hardest person to congratulate.
I'll be honest. Went to work the next day. We played state championship game on Thursday night. We walked in, everybody acting like it's the greatest thing ever. But I'm like, guys, it was we treated just like a normal game. That game day, our game day routine. We got on the bus. I didn't tell anybody what time we were leaving. We didn't want to send off or anything. I wanted it to be a normal game day for those kids. And I just tell them, like, guys, it's football. The same football you played when you were 5, 6 years old. Like, the ball just a little bit bigger, but don't let that moment get too big for you. So we just treat it just like it's a normal game. Baseball championship, we had shirts. It started with my saying, it was a kid that was pitching, and he was a legend. Saw him on the mound. He threw the first couple of pitches, and I was like, man, he's a jag. And they was like, what's a jag? I said, he's just a guy. Like, he was just a normal guy, but everybody thought he was like the best high school pitcher ever. So after that, once we got into the championship series, we got shirts that jag, just a game. It was just a normal game for us. So, I mean, I just treat everything like it's a normal football game, and you show up, and the goal is to win. So, a lot of people talk about, playing up to the expectations and all of that stuff. Man, I'm trying to beat you week 1 or week 15. I'm trying to beat you. Like, that's what it is.
We know. But Coach, I can tell you right now, if I win the state championship, do you remember Coming to America?
Oh yeah.
You remember when Prince Hakeem got out of the bed and they had to throw them flowers down? If I don't have a police escort to school the next day, and they gonna hear me. When I get on campus, they need to be laying flowers out as I walk to my classroom.
No, Coach, I look at it like this, man. Some people were done in October. We finished in December. We're behind. It's time to get to work. We got to catch up.
No, you had some practices then. You was in practice. The people that were done.
We practice.
They couldn't practice.
But, I mean, it's a new team. It's a new team. So, hey, we're behind. Like, let's catch up. And,
Coach,
especially, man, we were bad all year with the run defense.
So here we go. I knew we was coming here.
Coach said
I knew we was coming.
Terrible against the run. Man, we were bad. So I got to do a better job as a coach. I need to be watching film, trying to figure out how to stop the run. Got to figure out if that 3-4 is gonna fit. Like so.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. I knew it was coming.
Achilles heel.
I had to keep you on your feet because in reality, every time we looked at your funky schedule, we knew that it wasn't going to play out right for us, that you were going to get a ring, because right now the score is Calhoun City 3, Bruce's 1.
Well, we're not going to talk about scheduling. We're not going to talk about the schedule.
Well, the playoffs, we talking about playoffs. We talking about teams that we didn't think that could compete with y'all, because to me, I still say, even though I still said in the beginning, I thought the run defense was kind of a little iffy. Still, I felt like this probably was the best defense Calhoun City had in over 30 years. Because your linebacking core was something, it's like you had 4 Ray Lewises out there. And that's not fair. Not fair.
And think about this, Coach. I saw someone sent me something the other day. The top 10 touchdown leaders that's returning for the 26th season, we played 3 of them. We played 3 of them. So when you're saying we're not sound against the run, and it had a lot to do with the
but
teams
see,
that's
because we had high expectations that you were supposed to stop those elite guys. So that, to me, was a compliment to what you had going on. But, Coach, you had, let's see, let me count. I think, was it 6 or 7 players signed to play college football next year?
It was 6.
What did that feel like, man, to have 6 players to sign to play college football?
To me, that means more than that state championship. Like,
I know.
No, I'm being serious. Man, Coach, that trophy is going to collect dust.
First of all, that trophy wouldn't have got back to the school until about a month later, because it had been in my house for about a month.
Coach, man, that trophy, we walked in, we put that trophy on the desk.
Hold on, let me show you something, Coach. I'll show you something. I'm going to show you how petty I am. It was 2 years ago. I still got it in my office. I ain't turning it into nobody. We won this division 2 years ago, and I keep it with me because I don't know when I'm gonna get another one.
That's his baby.
I don't know when I'm gonna get another one. So I hold on to this for dear life.
Because we walked in, put it on the desk, and we was like, guys, we gotta get everything cleaned up. We went to washing jerseys and everything just like any other game day.
I've been upset with you. But you've been made us go to work after a championship game. No, I want to celebrate.
We went to work.
Yeah, going to work. I ain't trying to go to work. Let me celebrate for 2 days. But I don't want to watch no film. Let's hire somebody to watch for us.
But to be honest, Coach, man, I would rather see more kids sign. Because that's what it's all about. Man, 15, 20 years from now, people gonna forget who was the coach, what year we won it, all of that stuff. So, I mean, I would rather see those kids sign scholarships and change their lives, and not only their lives, but their family lives.
Speaking of family lives, and I just we still got to give us about 10 more minutes, because I missed out about 20 minutes of the interview. NIL. But where? Yeah, NIL. Now the land.
Mad at me.
Well, we finna get it out, because the landscape of college football, college athletics have changed. Me and Coach, we have argued, we debated, we agreed, but with the landscape of NIL, you being a football purist, because they say Coach Hare hates football because of his takes on things.
I've been told that.
You being a football purist, and I sat in on some recruiting visits, and it was brought up by some coaches that, for me, I didn't like, because I thought it was a tactic to try to get the kid to sign. How do you feel about coaches that come into your office to talk to one of your kids and they're using NIL, or is that something we just have to adjust and roll with?
Well, let's start off by saying I wish I had some eligibility left because them jokers are getting paid now.
Yeah.
As they should. But let me say this. I don't feel like they should be able to use that as a recruiting tool.
Yeah.
Like, if, for example, I use Johnny Football. Johnny Football should have been getting paid, which he was, but but he missed games and all of that stuff over it. Like, this guy, when you see a Texas A&M jersey number 2, you knew, hey, that's Johnny Football. That's his name. That's his image. So pay that man.
Yeah.
But when you start just throwing it out there and you don't know if this kid's going to produce or anything like that, to me, that's where it gets messy at. But if these kids, like if you put a number 10 Ole Miss or a number 18 Ole Miss jersey, we already know who that is. Yeah. So pay them. Yeah. Because people are buying those jerseys. But as a recruiting tool, I don't know. I kind of see issues with that. But it also, to me, you're taking, I talked about the love of the game. That trickles all the way back down to high school sports. If you're treating these kids like professional athletes or collegiate athletes in the high school level, to me, it takes the fun out of the game. You see, everyone's going on these recruiting, like it's the recruiting trail now. I'm old school, and I tell my players, if you can play, you can play. People gonna find you coaches talk. I don't think you have to go to all these camps and do all of these different all-star games and stuff. That's just me. I look at the wear and tear on your body. I mean, you got kids that are actually playing 30 or 40 more games before they even get to college. And now we're wondering why my ACL is blown out, my Achilles, all of that stuff. So that's the old school mindset that I have. I feel like if you can play, you can play. Because people going to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, coach, you got any players? If you got a good name as a coach, you say, yeah, someone's going to come look at them. So I don't think you have to do all of that stuff. But like I said, to me, it's all about the athlete, making them fall in love with the sport, not treating it like it's a business.
How was recruiting for you? How did that process go with you?
To be honest, I had the JUCO offer, so it was different when I was coming out. Back then, you had the protection list. So if you were in the district, once they protect you, all the other JUCOs basically like, we're done. It's nothing else we can do. So Northwest, they didn't protect me, but they basically wanted me to know, hey, if you decide to go JUCO, hey, you need to come here. Because they didn't want to waste that I guess a certain number that you can protect. So they didn't want to waste one on me feeling like I would go to a Division I. So other than that, I had Arkansas State and Delta State. So it was really simple for me. One Division I offer, and that was it. And like I said, I wasn't a camp guy. To be honest, coach was the coach that recruited me from Arkansas State, man. He was actually at Lafayette. They had some players at the time, and hey, he told them, hey, you need to go to Kansas City, check this kid out, and boom, the rest is history.
So when you got to Arkansas State, coming from Kansas City, small school, with small school, how was that experience? How was that transition?
Ooh, boy, I was lost. I was lost. So I played corner in high school. I got to Arkansas State, thinking I was gonna be a corner. First meeting we broke up to go with our position groups. I walk in the corner room. They say you need to go downstairs. So I go down there with the safeties, and man, I weighed 163. When I got to Arkansas State, I was 163 pounds. I'm thinking, man, I'm about to play safety at 163 pounds. Like, man, y'all tripping. But we made it work. And that's what the coach told me. He said, man, you're willing to tackle, You're smart. You can learn the system. Hey, we need you back here making the checks. And I mean, I was 175. That was the most I ever weighed in college. You talking about playing strong safety, 175 pounds. But just learning the system, man, it's a big difference from playing high school football, playing man coverage every snap, and now you're playing fire zones and cover 2 and cover 3, and when the tight end trade, you're changing coverages and rolling. And I mean, I didn't think I would ever learn the system, but I mean, I still know the system now. If I lined up in it, shoot, I can give me some other DBs, man. I can get them lined up, and we can make it work.
Go.
So to shift back into, you seem like a guy who's where his feet are. You don't really look ahead or anything, but you say you had 6 guys move on to the next level. Is this are we reloading this spring, or is this we're gonna find out spring?
What you say, Coach? We'll find a way.
Yeah, find a way and still reload. Crap.
Coach, man, you seem like you hurt over there.
Yeah.
Coach, man, you're a preacher. Find some love in your heart. So, I'm waiting for, the first week of spring to see exactly, who we are. I think we got some guys that can, fill those spots, but just seeing them out there and making sure they know the alignments, the assignments, and all of that stuff, that'll make the biggest difference. Because the group we had, like, they played in the system for 4 years. They could fix the defense, before they got on the sideline. And high school football, you better have some guys out there that can fix some things, especially at the small level, because those guys are not coming off the field. So we can't make adjustments. We can't get under the tent and look at the iPad and fix things. So those guys need to know the why and the hows and all of that stuff. So when things do break down, we can get it fixed while they're on the field.
Is there a process to figuring out exactly where to start with that, or like, do you see it right away as far as like, not being able to make adjustments and things like that? At this level, those guys are playing both sides of the ball. Do you know, like, pretty much you send a scout offense out there and you're looking at your defense, are you going to know exactly where you are based on alignment assignment? Like, do you know how quickly can you get that picture? Like, does it take that whole first week, or do you feel like that's something that you're just going to see it?
Man, to me, it starts in the meeting room. We get in the meeting room and I drill those guys. Like, hey, you need to know, I put my players on the board. Hey, get this guy lined up. So we start off, everything's in the meeting room. Then we go to a individual or group period. So it's just all the backers. They're walking through things. From there, you go from the drills to the field. So now we're in a team setting to see if they got all the concepts.
So it's a true crawling, walking.
Oh yeah, yeah. We crawl and we do it, and yeah, it's like that all season. It's not just during the fall or during the spring early. Like we're doing that. We do our EDDs, all of that stuff, our everyday drills. That stuff we do, and the kids know it. As soon as we break it down and start practice, they know exactly what's going on.
Gotcha.
Coach, man, I know we're getting close to your bedtime because you usually go to sleep around 8. Matter of fact, we probably went over your bedtime about 20 minutes. But I do want to end it with this last question. If the opportunity came to move to that next level, not saying now, because I do see the real passion that you have for your kids. I see it on a daily basis. We talk and I see it. But if that opportunity came, would you entertain it? Or would you just like, hey, I'm gonna finish this thing out and I'm gonna stamp it out here?
Coach, you want me gone, don't you? You just keep trying to get me away from Kansas City. To be honest, I would entertain anything that made sense. But Coach, this how I look at it. when you start talking college football, those kids are with you full time. So when those kids mess up and do things, that's coach getting out of bed going to get that kid. Now where I'm at, they go home to their parents. So that's not my headache after, 6:30 or whatever. So
that might be the best explanation I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's the best I've ever heard it.
So I mean, I just look at the big picture. I mean, and when you talk about coaching on that level, on this level, it's full time, but like that grind never stops at the college level. Cause as soon as that season over, those guys are out recruiting. Those guys trying to get the next person. I'm recruiting whatever the community produces, but those guys are going cross country trying to get guys. And it's so hard now, going back to the NIL and stuff, just talking to college coaches and stuff, man, it's hard to keep a team. Your whole team will hit the portal.
Yep.
So your whole team hit the portal. Now you got to recruit 40, 50 kids. So, Coach, I like my piece.
Well, I'm with you with that, but I tell you what, if I get fired, I better get a job. And
well, Coach, I don't know. You gotta go to the other side of the county because you don't like this spot in the county.
No, because y'all did me wrong. But
Coach,
man,
you could have stayed over here.
Yeah, well, when I left, that's when Coach Rob won a state championship. I said, so he owed me a ring too. Everybody owed me a ring. I just, man, I don't know.
Coach, now that you say that, you may have been his Achilles heel.
Oh, so when I leave Bruce, Bruce, once I leave, you're gonna hit to the top. I promise you. That's what we do, man. But Coach, man, we so appreciate you, brother, man. And,
absolutely.
We will. I know WCBI do their own little thing, but we gonna be on location once the start of the season. So, and we will be coming knocking at Calhoun City doors, and you better let us in. But we're gonna do our own. We're gonna do our own preseason show where we come and we're gonna sit with teams and get little footage that we know the era. We ain't gonna record no schemes, but we're gonna go and we're gonna do our due diligence this season. But
we gotta put you on a hazmat suit. You come to Calhoun City, you gonna try to bring something over there.
Put some gloves and everything. I'm gonna drop some. No, I better not say that. But hey,
don't drop some anthrax or something. We gonna.
Hey, I tell you, we've been around each other too long because you said what I was thinking. But we've been around each other too long. But man, I know once again you don't do it for this, but your accomplishment, I promise you, we recognize. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Once you won that thing, I was proud. And I waited. Everybody, they was freezing, and they walked to the door. I said, "Nope, I gotta wait for him." And then when I said, "Well, crap, if I'm gonna wait for him, I might well interview him too. Might well kill two birds with one stone." But it was important that I waited to let you know that because I've seen it. I've seen the grind. I know who you are, and that makes the difference. I know who you are, and when you see people that do it the right way, then you want people to be successful. And hopefully you retire sometime soon because you didn't put in a year.
You cried in the car, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I was freezing in the car. But hopefully you retire after next year and Calhoun City go and rebuild, get them a new coach because at this point now, just move on. Move on. You ain't got nothing else to prove. Move on. Go to the house. Look at your trail cameras and go kill deers and antelopes and we might have a bear problem in Calhoun County. You can solve it for us. You ain't got time to be coaching no football. Coach, any other thing, Coach Harris?
No, I'm just super appreciative that you'd come sit down and talk with us, and hope we hopefully there's a part 2. Like
it's gonna be one
as the season comes.
I need my own mic, man. I need to be a member.
You need to go dipping. You need to go dipping that NFL pension, and you need to. But you know what? And get you a mic,
coach, and I let me be the referee or something. I can join.
Well, we might have to invent a segment for on Thursday night to get you because you ain't doing that on Thursday night anyway. Ain't like you working on anything. You don't paint the field. You make everybody else paint. But
I paint more. I do it all.
Coach, your joints ain't good no more, man. You need to quit doing that. You can't be painting no more. You got bad knees. You got bad hips. You better leave that alone before you end up like me.
Yeah, you want me to sit down and just rot away, don't you?
Yep, just sit down and just and you can still hunt. Sit in your hunting table and hunt, but you don't need to coach no more. Like what else? It ain't nothing else to prove. What you gonna do?
Coach,
Go build a.
Coach, I got to build.
You can't win a super state championship. It ain't no such thing. You unhit the top. It's time to go home now. Go home.
Enjoy signing and moving on to the next level.
Next level. No, you just said you made a good point on next level.
Said the kids.
You can support
the kids.
You can go there and tell them what they need to know under somebody else and help them get signed. Just call somebody. They'll still get signed. But it's time for you to let this thing go, man. It's time for you to go home and just go watch the rivers. Let the rivers flow. Hey, all the teams that play Calhoun City, y'all better thank me. I'm sending them home.
Coach, I need to do that. Coach,
I'm sending them home.
Coach, I'm 10 years in, man. I got a long time.
That's all you need. Man, once you win a state championship, they add like 15 years to you. So you got 25 years. You good to go.
You see, he's over here trying to get you to commit and stuff, but he's not sending you the salary contract to join the podcast. Like, you gotta offer the man something. Come on.
Because you can't. Because in order for you to be on this podcast, you gotta have a losing record. Because me and Coach got losing records. That make us good at this.
Coach, you should have told me that before we started, and I would not have accepted that Zoom. I would not hit join. I knew you were gonna try to put some bad mojo on me.
Because me and him, boy, we ain't won 10 games together. So hey,
yeah, I ain't gonna speak on all that. That's
so,
under the bridge.
Hey, so we working. We about to be legends in this game right now. We can tell people how they messed up because we did it. But come man, hey, if I don't stop, I got to get home to a baby. This I think that's y'all fault too. But Coach, anything else to get us? Well, man, we appreciate it. We appreciate you coming on, Coach, man. And like I said, it will be a part 2. I don't know. We might have to plug you in for the fall season, man. Once we get to
you said somebody lose the season, we'll talk after the season.
Hey, let's give it up, man, for our guest for the night, Coach MD.